What's up, Internet? This is the 84th Wolf, and welcome back to Wolf Watches. I think I'm going to take a break with all the shit that has been going on in RWBY, and decided to watch something brought to us from Anime America. I said that I was going to do this when both episodes come out, so now we're going to be watching and reacting to the most iconic and the most powerful weapons in anime. What can we expect to see? Well, despite liking anime, I haven't had the extensive library that people like Anime America has had. Time restraints, whatever, just don't have the time. But I'm expecting something from Bleach, maybe something from Hellsing, maybe some. I don't think there's going to be anything from Full Metal Alchemist in there, but let's just see what happens. Maybe we can discover new animes to watch in the future. So let's go ahead and get started. Spoiler warning.
This is part 3 of our weapon series. To see the first 2 lists, click on these annotations. Enjoy!
Here we go. The intro is still really good. I like it.
Well, we started with top 10 weirdest weapons, and then top 10 most iconic weapons in anime.
We'll start with the strongest
Now
first.
we're going to end our weapon series with this list, the most powerful weapons in anime. For this list in particular, we're looking for weapons that can cause the most amount of damage, whether they look like powerful weapons or not. By that, I mean we're looking at weapons a character can hold in their hands that can perform a surprising amount of damage. This also means that we will be excluding armed vessels, satellites, and other weapons that are not portable at ease.
Makes
So no
sense.
mechas, no warships, no starships, no Death Stars, no Ethereans, and no huge cannons, like the Dimensional Cannon, since it can't be transported or carried easily. Just singular weapons that can pack a punch. Which weapon in anime causes the most amount of damage? Let's find out. Here is Anime America's top 10 most powerful weapons in anime.
Wish I had the soundtrack.
Number 10. The 10 Commandments from Rave Master. Wait, 10 Commandments? Why is it called that? Can it part the waves or something? Oh, it's a sword that has 10 forms. That's pretty awesome.
Kind of reminds me
So
of
the 10 Commandments is a sword that draws the
Daedalus
inherent
Urza
powers of the
from
Rave
Fairy
Stone.
Tail.
It has 10 forms corresponding to the nature of the stone's ability summoned. Each form, as you would guess, have their own ability to help Haru Glory in any situation. For example, the Silpharian form grants him supersonic speed, allowing him to attack multiple times. The Maleforce form allows him to pull or push his enemies away, as well as paralyze them.
Fairy Tail.
And the Explosion form can... Exactly. There's more forms to cover, but you get the gist of how powerful the 10
No, it's
Commandments
not.
sword really is.
They just used a scene from anime. That's weird. Unless there was a crossover and I just didn't know it. I don't know.
Number 9.
But that's definitely something to look at.
Keys? Nah, you just summon people. Urza swords? Nah, they're cool though. The Etherean?
Ethereon is an absolute last resort. It is more dangerous than the R system itself.
Nice, but that's a huge magical satellite that can shoot massive beams from space. Can't even hold the damn thing. Isn't there anything from Fairy Tail we can use?
Magic-powered transmission complete. Buster Marm, redeploy!
That thing is pretty awesome.
Ooh, that'll do. The Buster Marm Sword from Fairy Tail. During the Daedalus arc, a strong Exceed named Panther Lily carries around a huge sword known as the Buster Marm to protect the Daedalus Kingdom.
If 1 Panther Lily equals 1 Panther in length, then the sword's equal to 4 Panthers long.
No one cares about that. They just want to see a fight.
When Happy and Gajeel were set out to destroy the giant Lacrima, Panther Lily flies in to stop them by any means necessary. His Bustrom arm sword is one hell of a sword. Not only does it look intimidating in size, but it packs enough strength to cut through earth and iron. Just not iron dragon scales, as Kajil pointed out. But still, it's a pretty powerful weapon if it can cut through earth and iron.
But I'm still making you my cat. He shattered my Bustrom arm sword.
Well, that didn't last long. The Bustrom arm sword. It can shatter earth and iron with ease. Just not Kajil.
It still was a badass weapon. I gotta give him that. Though if it really
Number
shattered
8.
that easily, I probably would have put it at the number 10 spot.
Gideon from Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh, that
Sacred
thing.
treasures are pretty unique weapons, but
When is
Deanne's
season 2 coming
Gideon
out of
hammer
this?
is on its own level. Not only is it as big as Deanne, it's also a highly destructive weapon that can cause massive damage. With one swing of the hammer, the Gideon hammer can destroy massive lands, take down mountains, and even cause earthquakes. Now that's a pretty powerful hammer, and a suitable one for our lovely giant. Stop! Hammer time.
Ah, that's funny.
Hammer time.
They couldn't let that go. They couldn't let it go.
Number 7. The Fire Sword from Bastard. Oh, how I love this ridiculous show. A fantasy rock opera featuring one hell of a main character. I just wish it had more episodes. Well, in one episode, Dark Schneider infiltrates a castle that hides the Fire Sword as a trap, no less. It was once used by Ninja Master Gara, but was somehow unable to master it, to which he left it as a trap in his own castle. How could you not master a sword? What's so special about it if...
That's an
Wait
issue.
with fear, little one, for you have released Ifrit, the fire elemental.
You do not look friendly, sir. This is Ifrit, a 300-year-old fire elemental who is bound to the sword and has a fiery attitude. Literally, this guy could burn down multiple villages and then some with his fiery power, if he wanted to. A sword that contains a fire demon and cause massive damage, the Fire Sword from Bastard really is a powerful weapon worth noticing. Number 6. Here! Bleach! Now there's peace in the weapon series. You can rave in the comment section now.
Apparently there's been a lot of complaints.
So this is gonna be interesting to read since I never really
Oh, no, they're
watched
gonna argue
all of
about which Bleach
but I
sword
do
is
know
strongest.
it's got some powerful weapons here and there. In general, we're going to give this rank to Zanpakutos. Depending on their wielder spirit, the Zanpakutos can be pretty powerful weapons. They can even take on many different forms to the point where, I've just lost count already. One of the most powerful forms that I'm going to talk about here is Ichigo's Zangetsu. Yeah, I know there's more forms out there, but I'm going to talk about Zangetsu. Deal with it. How powerful are we talking about
It is
here?
definitely one of the most powerful ones.
Damn. It just cleared the sky. Sure, it could take down buildings in a single swipe, but it just cleared the sky.
That was a pretty cool
Look at
piece
that.
of animation.
That's just pretty powerful right there.
Replay.
Given the circumstances, Zanpakutos can be powerful weapons, as long as the wielder has a powerful soul. Number 5. Apollon from Heaven's Lost Property. Icarus's very own bow of pure destruction. This cute little angeloid may look innocent enough, but you don't want to mess with her.
She doesn't look innocent
Especially
with a
when she's
minigun.
back in this baby. The Apollon is a highly destructive bow. It's so powerful that if Icarus wants to, she can wipe out an entire country. Well, that's just not clear, since countries come in different shapes and sizes. What could be powerful enough to take out, say, all of China, would wipe out the majority of Europe. How big of a country are we talking about here, people? Regardless, to know that this bow can take out a large, massive land proves that this one-of-a-kind weapon is very powerful. 4. The Caster Gun from Outlaw Star. At first, we were thinking about adding this weapon to top 10 most iconic weapons, but given its full-on capabilities, we believe it deserved a spot on this list. Sure, I've stated before that the Caster Gun can shoot massive lasers, but did you know it can fire bullets that create black holes? Not even
That's
joking.
pretty cool.
If Gene Starwing can find certain bullets for the Caster Gun, it can create miniature black holes that can suck in his enemies. It only places at number 4 though, since it's not that destructive. I mean, the black holes he fires can only suck in one target. It turns them inside out, but the black holes can only suck in one person. Still, given the fact
if you
that
get
this
hit
is
by
a
a black hole gun,
gun
you're
that can
freaking
fire
dead.
huge lasers and black holes, this gun just had to place on our list of powerful weapons. Number 3. Vash's Arm Cannon from Trigun. I know a lot of people wanted to see Wolfwood's crossgun under most iconic weapons, but the main rule of Anime America's weapon series is one weapon per show. For most powerful weapons in anime, we felt we needed to reserve Vash's Arm Cannon for this list in particular. Why Vash's Arm and why this list?
Alright, well, we just took out everything. And I don't even think he was aiming for it.
That hit the moon. It hit the moon. It hit the moon, and it made a crater. It hit the moon! So Vash has a laser encased in his body that is so destructive it can wipe out an entire city, leaving it into ruin, and make craters on the moon. That's pretty powerful. Both Vash's Arm Cannon and Wolfwood's Crossgun are memorable weapons, but for this weapon series, we had to choose Vash's Arm Cannon for this list of powerful weapons.
So, that's what that's like. I've never seen Trigun, really,
Number 2.
so I've been meaning to get into it.
Iya, Sword of Rupture
yeah,
from Fate
this
Zero.
thing.
You guys wanted me to choose Excalibur, but did you forget this bad boy? Iya is the most powerful weapon from this series as wielded by Gilgamesh. It is so powerful, it can, if allowed to, wipe out all of life itself on the planet.
Pretty much can, yeah.
What the hell? Yeah, the sword is capable of opening an abyss, capable of crushing all of creation, and the center of the storm is not calm, but rather a hole to hell itself. The wind pressure creates a vacuum that takes all things with form, the land, the atmosphere, and the sky, into the whirling void. Jeez! This sword is capable of destroying the entire planet. And once everything is returned to nothingness, only Iya is left to shine, with a brilliance like a star of creation, amidst the destruction. The very first thing illuminating the
To
new
be fair,
world.
this whole thing is inside
Well,
of reality marbles. So.
Isn't that something?
But I
Makes me
wouldn't
wonder what
be
can top
surprised
an
if it
entire
actually could
planet's
do that.
destruction. Before we move forward, here are some honorable mentions.
I haven't seen any of these ones. They do look like really cool animes, though. Tokyo Ghoul.
And the number 1 most powerful weapon in anime is... So, I did all my research. I asked you all on Facebook for suggestions. and did even more research. I begged you all to find me a weapon powerful enough to wipe out planets and galaxies. You came close with some of these weapons, but none of them came close to the power of number 1. I tried to find a more powerful weapon than this one, but I couldn't. And to top it off, this weapon was mentioned several times on Facebook, and my own team couldn't disagree with this being number 1. Given the criteria of this
stop
list,
stalling.
with all the research you and me did together, this has to be the most powerful weapon, probably overpowered weapon, in anime.
What? Something from Sailor Moon?
The Silence Glaive from Sailor Moon. Oh, I can hear the comments now. Of course Robin would put Sailor Moon on a list. Of course she'd find a way to make Sailor Moon number 1. Yeah, well, listen to this. Saturn's attacks are based around silence and destruction, death, and rebirth.
Okay.
She has the ability to annihilate a planet and even an entire galaxy, as well as resetting the evolution of the same to 0. All of which these powers are granted by her Silence Glaive. Sailor Saturn's awakening is greatly feared by the 3 Outer Scouts, who believe that upon fully awakening, her tremendously strong, destructive, and deathly powers will bring about the end of all existence, as she did the same during the Silver Millennium. You heard me right. Once the dark, malevolent energy Queen Beryl unleashed was getting out of hand during the Silver Millennium, Sailor Saturn brought an end to the Millennium using the Silence Glaive. Everything was put into ruin. The kingdoms that reigned in other planets, Saturn destroyed them all. If Serenity, the Messiah at the time, hadn't have used her powers to resurrect everyone to live on Earth, the Milky Way galaxy would have been lifeless. And no, this is not her powers alone. All of this destruction and death comes from the glaive itself. Saturn wields it, the glaive does all the work. We debated on putting the silver crystal on the list, but the crystal is known to draw out a person's full energy and use their magic to fight. So pretty much, the silver crystal is a huge energy source, a magical power enhancer, not really a weapon. Saturn's glaive is the one that causes all of the destruction, and as proven in Sailor Moon Stars, Saturn can't do anything without it. By dropping the Silence Glaive on its sharp edge with the intention of bringing about an end of everything and everyone, she turned everything to nothingness and oblivion. Sailor Saturn, the goddess of death and rebirth, bringing oblivion and silence with her Silence Glaive. For its capabilities of wiping out all of life and existence in a galaxy, Sailor Saturn's Silence Glaive is without a doubt the most powerful weapon in anime.
They backed it up with a lot of evidence. I mean, I've never watched this show, so I mean, that's a pretty badass
I hope you all enjoyed
weapon.
this weapon series. I know it may have seemed confusing, but we were just trying to divide up all these special weapons in an anime. I know a lot of you may have seemed disappointed with the absence of multiple weapons from certain shows, but we were doing our best to bring one weapon per show in this 3-way weapon series. In the end, I hope you've had some fun watching these videos as I had making them with my team.
Alright, so this was a good episode. I mean, everyone has their own opinions on stuff, and you know what? I agree with her list. She puts a lot of research into it, and despite the fact that I've never heard some of these animes, I mean, some of them I have heard of, and I agree with for the most part, and you know, seeing some of this anime makes me want to watch more episodes. So, it's been flip-flop. The order that I recorded this in is a little bit flip-flop, so we're just going to go straight to the most iconic weapons in anime. And here we go.
Number 10. The Maneuver Gear from Attack on Titan. Now, we're not specifically talking about the flying gear itself. Although they're cool to fly with, they're not weapons per se. Still, they do kinda help the soldiers fight off the Titans, so they can count. What we're looking at are the swords themselves, and yeah, you know where the swords are from since they look different. Not really looking like typical swords, they're more like long knives attached to rifles ready to carve into the Titans. Stylish and practical, the maneuver gear and swords really are iconic weapons in the anime world.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in this show. It's a good show, you should watch it.
Number 9.
Lots of violence, lots of blood, lots of death.
The Dominators from Psycho-Pass. Now, there are a lot of guns in the anime world, but this one to us really stands out. It's state-of-the-art technology that can only be operated by enlisted inspectors and enforcement officers. It's got several modes, from non-lethal paralyzers to lethal eliminators. That guy exploded. That's what I call lethal. He just exploded. So we got a very lethal weapon here that looks freaking awesome to hold. I mean, just look at it. Don't you wish you had one?
Recreation? That's pretty awesome. I'm a little afraid to give you that thing.
Of 2016. Well, it can't hurt anybody, but it's another shiny object I want. The Dominators from Psycho-Pass. They just look so cool. Number 8. A stick. A stick.
Goku's
What makes this thing
extender
memorable?
pole thing.
Oh! Okay, I deserve that.
I don't know if it's
Goku's
iconic
powerful
anymore.
from Dragon Ball. Before Goku became a powerful Super Saiyan, he was training to be the best while using his trusty power pole. It's sturdy, can smack numerous foes in his way, can chop down some swords, and can stretch up to unlimited heights, thus helping him fly over any obstacle before he knew how to fly. Though he has no need for it as an adult, it was a pretty cool tool for him to use as a kid.
I would have put it under honorable mentions, personally.
The Elucidator and Dark Repulsor from Sword Art Online.
Yeah, these are definitely iconic.
What? Yes, everyone knows I hate this show. I not only hate it, but I loathe it to the point where every subscriber to Anime America knows my undying rage for this poorly written show. Still, I
It is
can't
definitely
exclude
poorly
these swords
written,
because
but
I hate
it's
this
got
show.
some really
With all
cool
the Kirito
action.
cosplayers out there carrying these swords, everyone knows these swords and where they're from, whether they like the show or not. I'll admit, as half-assed and emotionally manipulative the story can be, at least the anime was creative with their weapons. With every online MMORPG, weapons had to be creative and their own identity. In the world of Aincrad, the Elucidator and the Dark Repulsor stand out from the crowd and are well-known weapons in anime. Number 6. The Dragon Slayer from
Dragon
Berserk.
Slayer from Berserk.
Guts is
yeah.
known to carry large swords. In the Golden Era, he stood out from the mercenary with his tall frame and huge sword. But if there's one weapon we have to talk about, it's the Black Swordsman's gigantic blade, the Dragon Slayer.
That thing is
This particular
absurd.
sword was first made to meet the king's proclamation to make a sword strong enough to slay a dragon. However, the blacksmith Goto made a weapon so big, no one could wield it. So he just tossed it away in his shop, never to be used again. Once the eclipse went down, Guts discovered the sword during a fight against an apostle, whereupon the Black Swordsman wielded it with ease and shot Goto the blacksmith. Ever since then, Guts has used the Dragon Slayer to take down numerous spirits, monsters, and apostles who stand in his way. Most of this actually happened in the manga, but Young Animal magazine recently announced a new anime for Berserk which will tell the tale of Guts as the Black Swordsman. In time,
Thank you.
we'll finally see more of Guts and this legendary blade in action.
Definitely like the manga in relation to, or in
Number
comparison
5.
to the actual anime. I don't
Bitches
even think
love
the actual anime got
cannons.
very far.
There! I said it! Are you happy now? the Hard Cannon 1 and 2 from Hellsing.
Oh,
I'd like
man.
to add that Alucard's Casual and Jackal are memorable weapons, as well as Walter's Microphilia Mint wires. But out of all the weapons that were beautifully shown in Hellsing, we gotta give this place to Ceres's hard cannons. The first one made by Walter was pretty much a portable cannon only Ceres could use. Powerful enough to take down a military tank, Ceres could use the weapon to take down any target no matter how far away they were. And then there's the Hard Cannon 2.
It was pretty awesome. I want one.
Now that's overkill, but I don't care. The Hard Cannons. 2 cannons loved by bitches and audiences worldwide.
God, that's so cool. That's also a good show.
Number 4.
Lots of violence.
Madoka's Bow from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. The very bow that reshaped the universe and looks so pretty to use. Now, we did debate on putting this bow on most powerful weapons, but felt that compared to a lot of other powerful destructive weapons, what kind of damage does Madoka's bow do? Well, before she became a goddess and during some of the alternate timelines, Madoka had a pretty powerful bow that would help her take down witches. As a goddess, however, she uses the bow to reshape the universe while removing witches from history, thus preventing magical girls from turning into witches ever again. That's a pretty cool technique, but it wasn't what we were looking for on top 10 most powerful weapons. As an icon, however, well, look at it. I'm actually fascinated by this bow, given how typical looking all the other weapons were in the show. It's just so pretty. A suitable weapon for a goddess. Madoka's bow is truly one of a kind.
It's definitely unique.
Number 3. You really thought silverware was more notable than this, baby? Rel's chainsaw from Black Butler. Rel is a Grim Reaper who customized their death scythe since they thought the traditional scythes are too old-fashioned. Okay, Rel, describe old-fashioned since William Spears uses a pruner and Ronald Knox has a lawnmower. Those are not typical death scythes to me. I'll admit, out of all the death scythes in Black Butler, Grell seems more affiliated with death. I mean, there's gardening tools and then there's the English Chainsaw Massacre. And if anything, did you see how he took out Madame Red? That's brutal. Chainsaws are pretty typical in horror films, but when one was customized to be a death scythe, it was transformed into a memorable weapon for a memorable character. Number 2. Tessaiga from Inuyasha. Another big badass sword from a classic anime. The Tessaiga was once wielded by Inuyasha's father, Ino no Taisha. After his fatal fight with Takimaru, Ino no Taisha's remains, along with the Tessaiga, were consigned to the Gateway region of the Netherworld, in which the Gateway itself was sealed within a black pearl that was hidden in Inuyasha's eye. Well, that's just convenient. This was the first of many indications that he reserved the mastery of the sword to his youngest son, Inuyasha. Sesshomaru, however, was not willing to accept that and wanted the sword for his own. He forces Inuyasha to surrender the pearl from his eye, opens the portal, and the two fight over the right to wield their father's sword. However, a barrier was placed on the sword, warding away human-hating yokais, especially Sesshomaru. The Tessaiga at first looks pretty worn and old, but once Inuyasha gets his hands on it, the Tessaiga transforms into its gigantic form and is ready to kick some ass. And takes out Sesshomaru's arm. Brotherly love.
How many episodes did that take?
The Tessaiga, an overly powerful sword that everyone in the anime world knows and loves.
Honorable?
Before we move forward, here are some honorable mentions.
Blue Exorcist, yep. What is that? Don't know what that is. Final Fantasy, of course. That's kind of cheated, in my opinion. Oh, yeah. I guess that's an iconic sword. Yu Yu Hakusho. Soul. Oh yeah, the scythe from Soul Eater. That's a badass weapon. Crucio from Akame ga Kill. That's an awesome weapon.
And the number one most iconic weapon in anime is... But this Saiga came really close to being number one. But there was one other weapon that seemed to stick out the most. A weapon so creative, unique, and memorable that any anime fan would know what it is and where it's from. Seriously, it's that memorable. You can just look at it and say, oh hey, it's the scissor blade from Kill la Kill. Yeah, that's what would happen. The Scissor Blades from Kill la Kill. Creativity at its finest, Kill la Kill created a one-of-a-kind sword that anyone can recognize. While other weapons in anime stick to traditional weapons with some modifications, these are giant scissor blades that can take on multiple forms. To be fair, there have been scissors used in the past, but never before have we seen scissors turn into singular blades and looked this badass. Plus, the story behind it is amazing. Ryoko Matoi holds the red scissor blade, and she transfers to Honoji Academy to search for the other blade and the one who used it to kill her father.
Oh.
Wait. Do we have the anime equivalents to Indigo Montoya? Hello, my name is Ryoko Matoi. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I just couldn't help myself with that.
It fits.
Nonetheless, Kill la Kill took a common household item and turned it into a weapon that's badass looking and has an awesome backstory. For those reasons alone, the scissor blades from Kill la Kill are the most recognizably iconic weapons in anime.
And, people have been just talking about it all the time. I have to watch it.
Like I said before, this is all part of our weapons series for the month of January. First was weirdest weapons in anime, you just watched most iconic weapons, and next up will be the most powerful weapons in anime.
Well, we don't have to watch that because we already watched it. So, hope you guys enjoy. This is just something that I would like to share, and I had fun watching it, and maybe you did too. So anyway, thanks very much guys for watching another episode of Wolf Watches. I'll be sure to share more stuff when they come out. And in the meantime, hey, comment below. Tell me what I need to watch, and hopefully I can get to that and make a video on it before it gets too irrelevant. So anyway, thanks for you guys for joining me. This is the 84th Wolf, and I'll see you guys next time.